Wow. When we get into the Palladian Nibiruans, it's called the AXIUS sun matrix. It's another DNA configuration. This one belongs to a lot of the ones that would be involved with that stage landing. Okay, they're connected to the other guys, but these guys have an extra problem. It's called the Templar seal, and it was put on them for messes they created before, where they just were not allowed to go higher until they went back down and reincarnated over and over and over until they clean up the messes they made. And this is coming out of they're Nephilim, but they're the ones particularly associated with the Palladian Nibiruans. And if you look through things, this might be a good time to start checking out, like, what's on the websites. All right, ET contactees. Who's talking to what out there? You'll start to have an idea when you see who's talking to what that what is, and what agenda is behind what it's saying. Okay? These would be the guys that are most likely to make first contact and to pretend there are ancient, Noahs and people like that. So if we understand, this is about DNA. This is about race evolutionary agendas. This is not some fluff-headed New Age picture. This has been going on all along. We need to realize it. Put the next one in, please. All right. These really small ones, they're just making indication of the seals in the DNA, which are distortions that were put in on purpose to change the way it was supposed to work, to block certain things, to control how consciousness would evolve. Our DNA came in with a lot of different types of seals. Some of them are described in Voyager's Amente book, and it gets really confusing. I mean, there's a lot of things, and this changed this, and the consciousness did this instead of this because you changed that. It's like, it's a science. We tried to touch on some of it. This is called the Belil Sun Matrix. It's a 10-strand matrix, and there's a whole big movement going on now. Usually the people that are working with the Tree of Life that has 10 Sephiroth. The Tree of Life, as anybody doing Cathara healing knows, is about the DNA and about the Cathara grid within the body and about how that evolves into ascension. The people that are working to help people with this DNA configuration, humans here with this DNA configuration, are working with the 10 tree. We're working in Cathara with the 12 tree because we're working to regenerate the 12-strand pattern. These guys with the 10 tree of life are working with this DNA matrix because there's a huge amount of humans on the planet right now who have this DNA matrix because of interactions with the Anunnaki races throughout our history from Sumerian times and before Sumerian times. So the Belil Sun matrix has a 10-strand capacity. Now there are ways through the Melchizedek ordinations that anybody can get transmission of the 12-strand pattern. And they will at least have it when they didn't have it at birth. It's a morphogenetic field transmission. This is what we do the ordinations for. They're not about church. They're about DNA and ascension, okay? But the matrices involved with this are not being taught that that's an option, which again, Council feels is not fair. They should at least be able to be taught it's an option. It is felt with the matrices of Elohim that are connected to these guys too, that the consciousness isn't mature enough to handle itself. So they'll help them evolve, but this way, so they can still keep a rein on them. Now if you look at some people on planet Earth, and how absolutely wacky they can be, and how cruel they can be, would you really want them running around in 3 harmonics of the universe? It's bad enough they're in 1 on 1 planet. So it's not a negative agenda, the ones that are working to, with the 10 tree. It's an agenda meant for a level of consciousness and a certain DNA matrix that will help them evolve to the point where they could handle themselves with the power that a 12-strand matrix will give them.